Many of you are familiar with this great little book by Coxeter et al., the 59 icosahedra. This enumerates the 59 possible stellations of the regular icosahedron. And just to refresh your memory, a stellation is what happens when you take a polyhedron and you extend its faces off into infinite planes, and you look at where those planes intersect and what volumes they enclose. So typically you'd like planting a sort of a pyramid-like thing on a face. And the icosahedron has 20 faces, so there's 20 planes that can interact, and there's a lot of different types of volumes they can enclose. And combinatorially, turns out there's 59 things according to a reasonable mathematical definition of what makes a stellation. This is the stellation diagram of the icosahedron, where that blue triangle is one of the faces, and then these are where all the other planes intersect this one plane. So I was reading this book. I finally got around to actually reading it a year ago. I've been aware of it for some time. But as you read the book, it describes each stellation in terms, geometric terms of, oh, this is just like this other one with these strange sort of pyramids planted like here and these depressions here and so forth. And it's like, well, it'd be a lot easier to understand if I had that physically and I could just do that. And there are physical models of all 59 icosahedra in math museums. There have been for decades. But I had this bright idea. This would make a really cool 3D printing project. What if I could make all of these cells and attach them with magnets? Then I could have this one kit by which I could make all 59 stellated icosahedra and gain a much more direct physical intuition for what these things are. So I sat down with a CAD program and worked up. There's 12 different types of cells that exist in these possible sets of stellations, and this is what they look like. This is my first physical prototype of the 12 different types of pieces. I found some stronger magnets and tweaked the magnet locations a bit. I was able to shrink this about 10%. It's still very large. This ultimate scale is constrained by magnet placement in the smallest pieces. Turns out gluing 3,300 magnets is kind of a pain. And you're going to make mistakes, so I made these jigs. So all the faces of each piece are labeled top or bottom, and then I have the magnetic jigs. I put a magnet on the bottom one to glue into a bottom face and so forth. Far fewer mistakes that way. Got myself a really fast printer. I highly recommend the Bamboo Carbon X1. Each piece is labeled. I'm printing a bunch of E2 pieces here, also labeled with version number, ultimately V4. Here I'm printing, there's 60 of these large purple spikes that are needed. These pieces take about an hour each to print. So here is the entire thing. This is the final or outer stellation, also known as the echidnahedron, like a very spiky echidna. This thing weighs about 10 pounds, and I'm not sure how much of that is plastic and how much of it is magnets. If you slice off one of the layers, you can see the stellation diagram recreated in there. So let me just show you some of the possible stellations. Here's the central icosahedron. That's also, each stellation has a name, which is a function of its piece types. This is A. This is stellation B, the first stellation, where you can see these little pyramids planted, and they just all stick on with magnets. Stellation C on the left is cool because it also happens to be the regular compound of 5 octahedra. And if you choose appropriate colors, then you can get the color symmetry here, so you can see the 5 octahedra there. And on the right is the regular compound of 5 tetrahedra, which is also one of these 59 stellations. And in this case, that is known as, I believe, EF1 italic is the label for that one, because you're only using the right-handed F1 pieces. This is E, this is F, this is G, or sorry, this is F, previous was E. This is G, also known as the great icosahedron. But there's lots more that can make that are used various combinations of the different piece types. Some are hollow, as you can see. This is the excavated dodecahedron. A few just workshop photos, various prototype pieces, some photobond by hat tiles there. Yeah, so the fun thing is, if you want one of these, you can make your own. I put it up on Instructables.com. If you go there and look for magnetic icosahedra, you will find it, all the different print files, where to source the magnets. But more importantly, you can play with it here. I have it up in the exhibit room on the second floor. It's very fun to play with. The magnets just snick precisely into place. And there's a little instruction sheet. The book is there. The instruction sheet is there with suggested projects or challenges, but just play with it. Take it apart, strip it all the way down, build it back up in layers, do whatever you want. If you lose a piece, it's easy for me to print more. Okay, in addition, if we could switch to the overhead. So your exchange this year is an icosahedron, but it is presented to you as a 12-piece puzzle. It's 12 identical pieces that you have to assemble to form an icosahedron. And also, I printed a larger one with this 3-color silk filament, and it came out so well, I thought maybe people would like that. So I printed 10 of these and put them in the sale room. They're at Robert Fathauer's table. I think he says there's a few left. And that's that. Thank you. Please go up and play with this.